Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for something completely different. Welcome to my voiceover booth, aka walk-in closet. It's actually just the best sounding environment in my house. And it's been acoustically treated. I can't really move the camera around because it's affixed to a tripod mount that's wrapped around. It's a long story. Anyway, we've got a little bit of acoustic foam on the ceiling. Got some acoustic foam back behind the microphone. Got like a moving blanket here, which actually makes for really good noise dampening. And it's just like a really dense space. So boxes, game boxes, collector's editions, DVDs, whatever. Clothing here. So carpet down below. Just a really great place to record. And the idea behind sharing this with you is, well, a new direction for the YouTube channel. I love covering video games, but I also love doing voiceover for them. I've gotten a couple of opportunities in my life, and so really proud of that and appreciate those opportunities, hopefully more in the future. But in the meantime, I'd also like to do some practice sessions. This will be one. And one of my ideas has been to take some dialogue from video games that don't have voiceover and create my own. So in today's example, I'll be grabbing some lines from some very old quests in World of Warcraft that never had any voiceover. Now, you know, newer quest lines in WoW are getting more voiceover these days, but the old stuff, the vanilla content, a lot of it, there was really only basic voiceover, like when you would greet the NPC, the quest giver, and then be like, hello, how are you, or whatever, something like that. Just very super generic, and, you know, nothing beyond that. Everything else you would have to read. So the idea is kind of, hey, there's tons of dialogue out there that I could use for myself as practice. And I've already done some. You can find it on my SoundCloud, a link in the description below. I did 3 pieces from, I think, a, not Goldshire, Northshire Abbey NPC. But this one is going to be kind of a continuation of that quest line. Again, very super basic stuff. And we're trying to create the character in a way, like, you know, what is this person? What does he sound like? And as we know, the Stormwind NPCs always had kind of just a traditional flat North American accent. So we're not going to, you know, do anything crazy. We're going to just kind of keep with the Stormwind vibe. If we do something outside of that, like let's say Gilneas, then that would be more of an English accent. And we could, you know, tamper with that a bit. But right now, this is just, you know, human, fairly generic flat. And I've already done one for Marshall, I think it was Marshall McBride. So this guy's got to be a little bit different somehow. And I think this session's kind of going to be about figuring out what this guy sounds like. So anyways, if you're interested in this, cool. If not, also cool. But yeah, I'd like to start sharing more of this because I really enjoy it. And I don't know, I just think it's fun. I've always been into behind the scenes footage for things like, you know, behind the scenes on a Blu-ray or something, or DVD or whatever, how movies are made, how animations are done, the voice actors and what they do. It's just fascinating to me. And so I figure that if you're into that kind of stuff, if you like to see outtakes and bloopers, then you'll fit in here. But otherwise, let's get to it. So this one, I was sent over, or the player character was sent over to, I think this is Sergeant Willem. And so now he's kind of picking up the quest delivery. And I'm going to start recording here. There's going to be a lot of cuts at this point, since we've done our introduction. And I will begin recording the actual lines here. And away we go. So now the name of the character is going to be one of my WoW characters, Strafe Main. So every time you hear me say, like in this example, it's, have you ever seen a goblin? It says name, question mark. It'll be, I'm just going to insert Strafe Main so that we kind of, you know, have a player character to talk to. All right. Have you ever seen a goblin, Strafe Main? They're wretched little green-skinned monsters. I don't know if I like that voice. I usually have to do a few just to kind of get warmed up. Huh. Have you ever seen a goblin, Strafe Main? The wretched little green-skinned shits. Hey, have you ever seen a goblin, Strafe Main? They're wretched little green-skinned monsters. They love only two things, gold and, well, themselves. The Blackrock Orcs have enlisted the aid of goblin assassins to kill our soldiers. If you look to the field in the north, you can barely make out their silhouettes, sneaking around in the grass. I need you to head out there. Kill every goblin that you see. They need to learn that nobody messes with the Alliance. That could work, but I don't know if it's too similar to the character I did before, so I kind of want to do another one. Hey, Strafe Main, have you ever seen a goblin? They're wretched little green-skinned monsters. They love only two things. That's gold and themselves. Now the Blackrock Orcs, they've enlisted the aid of these goblin assassins to kill our soldiers. If you look to the field in the north, you can barely make out their silhouettes, sneaking around in the grass. All right, I need you to head out there and kill every goblin that you see. They need to learn that nobody messes with the Alliance. We're going to do that last line over again. I need you to head out there and kill every goblin that you see. They need to learn that nobody messes with the Alliance. I need you to head out there and kill every goblin that you see. They need to learn that nobody messes with the Alliance. A lot of times when I'm doing this, it's kind of about, since there's no director or nobody telling me what the character should be, it's just me having fun. There's no time limit. You know, I'm not getting, in this situation, paid by the hour or anything. So it's just me kind of exploring what this character should sound like and trying to differentiate them a tad bit from ones that I've done previously. Again, it's just experimenting and exploring these characters, having fun with it. So, hey, Strafe Main, have you ever seen a goblin? They're wretched little green-skinned monsters. They love only two things, gold and, well, themselves. Now listen up. The Blackrock Orcs, yeah, you know about them. They've enlisted the aid of these goblin assassins to kill our soldiers. If you look to the field in the north, you can barely make out their silhouettes, sneaking about in the grass. I need you to head out there and kill every goblin that you see. They need to learn that nobody messes with the Alliance. All right, so I think that gave me enough takes to play around with. As you can probably tell, I think the later takes are better than the ones we started out with. I think the character evolved into something unique by the end. And I think mostly it just comes down to needing some warm-up time because I haven't done any other voiceover today. So that was my, starter session. And I don't know, again, I could come up with a different idea later, completely change it. But for now, I think it's an interesting take on this character, even if it's not what Blizzard may have originally intended for it. It's probably just a more bland, basic, hey, here's your vanilla quest, go kill some stupid goblins or whatever. But I don't know. See, this part of it is fun for me because normally you're dealing with a director, a writer, producers, whatever, and they're telling you this is what we want, this is how we want it. But in this situation, I can take some text and just kind of change it up a bit. And you'll notice that if you were to read the quest on your own, I add a few of my own words. I try to make it sound natural because a lot of times when things are written down, they're written in a way that doesn't necessarily shine in regards to how somebody would normally speak to you. And again, we're dealing with a fantasy world where dialogue's a bit different. It's not your traditional, everybody has an English accent thing. Again, we're dealing with characters, in this case, at least from the Stormwind side of things, that may have generic North American accents. But again, we can play around with it later. We could perhaps work on some English accents or some more of the Southern stuff. it depends. I'll have to do a little bit more WoW research to see which factions change things up a bit. I know Gilneas and the other one, the Jaina Proudmoore people. I can't remember where they're from. They have English accents as well. So it's going to hit me later. But we'll have to think maybe we can play around with some of those. But a lot of those characters also have voiceover nowadays, the newer quest lines. So it's kind of about finding characters that don't have a lot of voiceover. But anyways, this is just one video example of this process and something that I'd like to start uploading more of to the YouTube channel. Perhaps in later videos, I can improve the video quality a bit. Right now, this is just an old web camera, and I'm kind of limited on lighting in here because it can get very, very, very hot in this studio booth. So I have to limit the amount of light I use. But, you know, later on, I can look at maybe getting a dedicated camera if you guys are enjoying this process. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. If you want to check out my SoundCloud profile, it's a place you can go to listen to various audio for work that I've done. Some of it's official, some of it's non-official. So the stuff I did for MechWarrior Online and Warlock 2 The Exiled, you can find that there. Some other random things there too. I'm also going to be doing this with Star Citizen, maybe Elite Dangerous, and other games that don't have voiceover for some of the more basic quest or mission givers. And there's a really funny one that I'm quite proud of for Star Citizen on the SoundCloud, but I'll have that all in the description below. Again, let me know what you think. Appreciate you hanging out, and I will see you on the next one.